Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. I have a new character challenge guide for you guys today. This one is going to be the Blood Raven Slayer, also known as VIB. It's going to consist of 3 challenges just like the others, and these challenges are going to be Secret Service, protect the bomber that has the artillery battery on its back, and make sure it doesn't take any damage on its way to the power socket. The second one is called Bombs Away, and that is to hit every single ship with the artillery gun and to not miss. And the last and final one is called Mulking, and that is to kill 10 bombers with headshots in a row while you're riding the minecart. Now that we have the challenges out of the way and I have explained them, we can get started on the first one, and the one that I'm going to be doing is to take the bomber over to the power socket without it taking any damage at all. Now what I use for this is just shell shock in the 1911. That's all I recommend. For your mods, you can take in whatever you want, and for your lethal, you can take in whatever you want. I do kind of recommend fully loaded as a mod so you can have a bit more ammo, but it is not necessary at all. So now that we have all of that out of the way and the setup and the challenges, we can get started on the guide. Alright, so to start this off, I'm going to let you guys know right now, I'm not going to be showing you how to have this bomber spawn. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to do that if you are trying to do this challenge. Also, I do recommend taking in jack-in-the-boxes. They make this 100 times easier, and they're also pretty much necessary to completing this challenge. So once you do spawn the bomber in, the round is going to change, and it's going to take a while for the zombies to actually spawn and reach you. So the only time you're going to be using jack-in-the-boxes is obviously 3 times because that's the max that you can hold, but the first time you will be using one of them is going to be at the top of these stairs. So the way I know when to throw a jack-in-the-box is I wait for that first zombie to spawn on top of the stairs, and then I toss the first one. Now each jack-in-the-box lasts around 15 seconds, so you won't really be throwing them back to back after each 15 seconds. You can wait a couple of seconds to wait for the zombies to start kind of running at you and getting close to the bomber, and you can toss the second one, which is going to be right here near the minecart. And then the last and final one is going to be kind of by this door where the stamina up is right here. You can toss it as soon as you hear it explode to kind of be sure, because zombies do spawn right here on this ledge to the left, as you can see right there. And by the time that last and final jack-in-the-box explodes, you'll be near this armor machine and pretty much completely done with this challenge. From here on, you'll use your shell shock and your bacon and eggs to get through the rest of the zombies. And right here, I do use shell shock because I was afraid if I exploded that bomber, it would hurt mine and I would fail the challenge. So if you did do the challenge correctly and your bomber took no damage, you'll see the hidden challenge badge pop up, and that'll be one of 3 challenges completed. Now let's go ahead and move on to the hardest challenge out of the 3, and that is to get 10 headshot kills in a row on bombers while you're riding the minecart. Now this challenge is very difficult, and it took me around 2 days to get this footage, mainly because of the difficulty of the challenge, but also because I wanted to figure out the best weapons and mods to use for this. So right here, this is my setup: Free Fire, Disciplined Mark II, and Specialist Training. Now you're probably wondering why I'm taking in Free Fire Mark II, and that is because there's 2 ways to do this. The first way being to use Free Fire Mark II to pack-a-punch your weapon and get the kills that way without opening pack-a-punch, but it does make it a lot more difficult because your gun shoots out bright yellow bullets, and it kind of, makes it hard to see what you're shooting at. As for Specialist Training, it's only beneficial to Free Fire because all it does is it allows you to get your meter a lot quicker and be able to use Free Fire more often. As for Discipline, it's good for both strategies, and I haven't even talked about the second strategy, and it's not even a strategy, honestly. All it is just to play the game normally and then open up pack-a-punch and pack-a-punch your weapon that way. But back to Discipline, what that does is when you crouch down, it shrinks down your crosshairs and it makes it more accurate when you're hip firing, which is very helpful because that's the strategy we're going to be using to get those headshots in the minecart. Now the reason Discipline is so useful is because when you hop on the minecart, it forces you to crouch, and that way you're able to use this mod. Right here's the description: increase weapon accuracy and damage while crouching or prone, and it also increases damage, as I just said, which is very good because it helps with that double tap and pack-a-punch as well to be able to kill those bombers instantly in the head. And for my primary, I'm taking in the 9mm SAP because it has a lot more ammo than the M1911, and it allows you to get more points early on to open those doors. As for the lethal, take in whatever you want, doesn't really matter, we're not going to use it. Now moving on to my weapon of choice, that is going to be the MP40 with steady aim, because that steady aim is also going to stack with that mod Discipline and allow you to get those headshots a lot easier when you're hip firing. Now the reason I chose the MP40 is because the damage is fairly good on top of double tap as well as pack-a-punch, but it also has a little recoil to be able to get those headshots a bit easier. Now right here, I'm showing you some other weapon choices. We have the M1 Garand, the SVT-40, as well as the M1A1 Carbine, and the plus is that they are AR, so you can put high caliber on there for that extra headshot damage. But all of them have their downsides. The M1 Garand is a 3-round burst, which I don't really like when it's pack-a-punch. The SVT's clip size is 10 and with extended max 15, so it's very small. And then the M1A1 Carbine has a very high recoil, so it moves a lot when you hip fire. But now that I've showed you all of your weapon choices and we've gone through the setup, let's go ahead and jump into this challenge. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is to pack a punch your MP40 or whatever weapon you decided to use for this challenge, and then also purchase double tap for 2,000 points to get as much firepower as possible. Now the pathway we're going to be taking is from the bunker area where we are now all the way down to the U-boat area. Now right here is the first tip, that is to aim high and then also shoot in short bursts, because if you shoot that second head behind their back and they die, the counter is going to reset and you're going to have to start from 1 headshot all the way to 10. If you shoot them and they blow up, the counter is going to reset once again and you're going to have to go from 1 headshot to 10 once again. Right here I'm replaying the clip, and this is what I used to see if I do get a headshot. Every time I kill a bomber, I'll get plus 100, and that just shows me that I did get a headshot. But if you get plus 60, guess what? Your counter reset because you did not get a headshot. Also, the amount of bombers that you get every single time, it varies. It can be 2, it can be 3, and then the max I believe is 4. This is my second time going in the minecart system, and I'm going to get 4 headshots this time using the technique of aiming kind of high and then waiting for that head to be in those crosshairs. Now I kind of do aim far to the right, that way I don't shoot that head behind them, which is another tip that I would like to give you guys. On screen you'll be able to see a couple of tips and requirements for this challenge. Number 1 being it has to be 10 headshot kills in a row. So let's say you go in the minecart system, you get 2 headshot kills, and the next kill you get, you shoot him in the chest and he dies. You won't get the challenge that way. Number 2, you can miss bullets. It doesn't necessarily have to be a headshot every single time. So let's say if you accidentally shoot him in the chest and you get plus 10 points but he doesn't die out, you can still continue going for that headshot. Number 3, if a bomber blows up when you shoot him in his back and you shoot that bomb, guess what? Your counter is going to reset and you're going to have to start from 1 kills all the way to 10. And then number 4, if a bomber dies from the minecart, the counter won't reset. Now I did read that on Reddit. I'm not too sure if it's actually true, but if it doesn't work, then I'm very sorry. Now those are all the tips that I have for you guys. I honestly don't have any more. This is a very difficult challenge, so don't think you're going to get it first try. Just be patient, make sure you have some time on your hands, and make sure you have no distractions at all. So right here I'm going for my last and final attempts. I need 3 more headshots, and if you're at this point as well, just aim for that head, and if you were successful and you got every headshot that you needed, you'll see the challenge pop up called End the Echoes and Silence the Booms, and you'll have 2 out of 3 challenges completed. As for the last and final challenge to destroy every single boat without missing a shot, I'm not going to have any gameplay of that in my video. It's kind of pointless because someone else made a great strategy for that and a chart which shows you all of the coordinates on where to shoot and get it every single time. Now I'm not going to have that chart in my video because I did not make it and I don't want any drama with other YouTubers, so I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can go check that out. But as always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.